Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaya Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtapraye Shvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seva Bhagavati Uttam Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12. Today we're starting last chapter, chapter 13, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 1 onwards. So some texts are in prose form, so I'll just go to the translation. Sud Goswami said, unto that personality whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and the Maruts praise by chanting transcendental hymns, and reciting the Vedas with all their corollaries, Padmakramas and Upanishads, to whom the chanters of the Sam Veda always sing, whom the perfected yogis see within their minds, after fixing themselves in trance and becoming fully absorbed in thoughts of him, and whose limit can never be found by any demigod or demon. Unto that Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my humble obeisances. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as Lord Kurma, a tortoise, his back was scratched by the sharp-edged stones lying on the massive, whirling Mount Mandar, and this scratching made the Lord sleepy. May you all be protected by the winds caused by the Lord's breathing in this sleepy condition. Ever since that time, even up to the present day, the ocean tides have imitated the Lord's inhalation and exhalation by piously coming in and going out. Wow. Purport. At times we alleviate an itching sensation by blowing upon it. Similarly, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains the breathing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can alleviate the itching sensation within the minds of mental speculators, as well as the itching of the material senses of conditioned souls engaged in sense gratification. Thus, by meditating on the windy breath of Lord Kurma, the tortoise incarnate, all categories of conditioned souls can be relieved of the deficiencies of material existence and come to the liberated spiritual platform. One must simply allow the pastimes of Lord Kurma to blow within one's heart like a favorable breeze, and then one will surely find spiritual peace. So nice allegory it's been given here. Purana Sankhya Sambhutim Asya Vachya Prayojane Danam Danasya Mahatmyam Patha Deshcha Nibodata. Now please hear a summation of the words length of each of the Puranas, then hear of the prime subject and purpose of this Bhagavad Purana, the proper method of giving it as a gift, the glories of such gift giving, and finally the glories of hearing and chanting this literature. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the best of all Puranas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the other Puranas will now be mentioned just as assistants of a king are mentioned in connection with his glorification. Brahmam Dasha Sahasrani Padmam Pancho Nashashti Cha Sri Vaishnavam Trayo Vinshach Chatur Vinshati Sefakam Dashashtu Sri Bhagavatam Naradam Panchavinshati Markandam Navahanam Cha Dash Pancha Chatushata Chatur Dash Bhavishyam Syat Tatha Panchashatani Cha Dashara Brahma Vaivartam Lengam Eka Dashevatu Chaturvinshati Varaham Ekashiti Sahasrakam Skandam Shatam Shatata Chekam Vamanam Dashkirtitam Karmam Sapta Dashakyatam Matsyam Tattu Chaturdasha Ekun Navinshatat Sorparanam Brahmandam Dwadashevatu Evam Purana Sandohash Chatur Laksh Udahrita Tatrashta Dash Sahasram Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate. The Brahma Purana consists of 10,000 verses, the Padma Puran 50,000 verses, Sri Vishnu Puran of 23,000, the Shiva Puran of 24,000, Srimad Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses. Now, Narad Puran has 25,000 verses, the Markandeya Puran 9,000, the Agni Puran 15,400, Bhavishya Puran 14,500, the Brahma Vaivarta Puran 18,000, and Linga Puran 11,000. The Varaha Puran contains 24,000 verses, the Skanda Puran 81,100, Vaman Puran 10,000, the Kurma Puran 17,000, Matsya Puran 14,000, Garuda Puran 19,000, and the Brahmanda Puran 12,000. Thus, the total number of verses in all the Puranas is 400,000. 18,000 of these, once again, belong to the beautiful Bhagavatam, out of 400,000 verses. Wow. Srila Jiva Goswami says, after compiling the 8 Puranas, Vyasadeva, the son of Satyavati, composed the entire Mahabharata, which contains the essence of all the Puranas. It consists of over 100,000 verses and is filled with all the ideas of the Vedas. There is also the account of the pastimes of Lord Ramchandra, spoken by Valmiki, an account originally related by Lord Brahma in 1 billion verses. That Ramayana was later summarized by Narad and related to Valmiki, who further presented it to mankind so that human beings could attain the goals of religiosity, sense gratification, and economic development. The total number of verses in all the Puranas and Itihasas is thus known in human history, human society, to amount to 525,000. Wow. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out, and in the first canto, 3rd chapter of this verse, after Suta Goswami lists the incarnations of Godhead, he adds a special phrase, Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is the original personality of God. Similarly, after mentioning all of the Puranas, Suta Goswami again mentions that Srimad Bhagavatam to emphasize that it's the chief of all Puranic literature. Idam Bhagavata Purvam Brahmane Nabhi Pankaje Sitaye Bhavabhitaya Karunyat Samprakashitam. It was to Lord Brahma that the Supreme Personality of God had first revealed the Srimad Bhagavatam in full. At the time, Brahma, frightened by material existence, was sitting on the lotus flower that had grown from the Lord's navel. Lord Krishna enlightened Brahma with the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam before the creation of this universe, as indicated here by the word Purvam. Also, the first verse of Bhagavatam says, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. Lord Krishna expanded perfect knowledge into the heart of Lord Brahma. Because conditioned souls can experience only temporary objects which are created, maintained, and destroyed, they cannot really understand that Srimad Bhagavatam is an eternal, transcendental literature, non-different from the absolute truth. So, more glories of Bhagavatam are given. If we give up all sinful activities and engage constantly in the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, victory is assured in our personal lives and also in our missionary efforts. Adi Madhyavasaneshu Vairagya Khyana Samyuktam Hari Leela Katha Prata Mritanandit Satpursuram Sarva Vedanta Saram Yad Brahmat Mekatva Lakshanam Vastva Dvitiyam Tanishtam Kavalyak Prayojanam. From beginning to end, the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations that encourage renunciation of material life, as well as nectarian accounts of Lord Hari's transcendental pastimes, which give ecstasy to the saintly devotees and demigods. This Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy because its subject matter is the absolute truth, which, while non-different from the spirit soul, is the ultimate reality, one without a second. The goal of this literature is exclusive devotional service unto that supreme truth. So this is the real goal of Bhagavatam, to render service unto that supreme truth. And who's the supreme truth? That is Krishna. The ultimate goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is to train the sincere reader in love of Godhead. Lord Krishna is supremely lovable because of his eternal transcendental qualities. The beauty of this world is a dim reflection of the unlimited beauty of the Lord. Without compromise, Srimad Bhagavatam persistently declares the glories of the absolute truth and is therefore the supreme spiritual literature, awarding a full taste of the nectar of love of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. Proshta Padmam Purnamasyam Hema Simha Samanvitam Dadati Yo Bhagavatam Sayati Paramam Gatem. So this ISKCON devotees quote this verse. They're getting sponsorship of Bhagavatam in the month of Bhadra. If on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on the golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. One should place Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne because it is a king of all literature. During the month of Bhadra, the sun to which this king of literature is compared enters the constellation Leo and looks as if raised upon a royal throne. Thus one may unreservedly worship Srimad Bhagavatam, the supreme divine scripture. No, this is little, of course it's in Bhagavatam, so it cannot be wrong. If somebody gives that a gift, then he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. Means he gets eligible. The supreme destination, going back home, back to God, to Golok Vrindavan, it's only possible when all the material desires are gone from our heart and we have developed love for Radha and Krishna. Otherwise, no. Yes, we get lots of qualifications if we give a gift like that. But that's not the way to enter Golok Vrindavan. Rajandre tavadanyani puranani satam gane yavad bhagavatam neva shruyate amrit sagaram. All of the Puranic scriptures shine forth in the assembly of saintly devotees only as long as that great ocean of nectar, Srimad Bhagavatam, is not heard. So once somebody hears Srimad Bhagavatam, every other literature just fades in front of it. Other Vedic literatures and other scriptures of the world remain prominent until the Srimad Bhagavatam is duly heard and understood. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ocean of nectar and the supreme literature. By faithful hearing, recitation, and distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam, the world will be sanctified and other inferior literatures will fade to minor status. Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Shri Bhagavatam ishyate tatra samrita triptasya nanyatra syadarati kvachit. Srimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has felt satisfaction from his nectarian mellow will never be attracted to any other literature. Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Puranam Idam Tatha. Beautiful verse. Just as the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta, the supreme among deities, and Lord Shambhu, Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnavas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. Kshetranam chaiva sarvesham yatha kashi hi anuttama tatha purana vratanam Srimad Bhagavatam dvijaha. O Brahmins, in the same way that the city of Kashi is unexcelled among holy places, Srimad Bhagavatam is supreme among all the Puranas. So next verse, I'll go to the translation. Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless Purana. It's most dear to the Vaishnavas because it describes the pure and supreme knowledge of the Paramhansas. This Bhagavatam reveals the means for becoming free from all material work. Together with the processes of transcendental knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. Anyone who seriously tries to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, who properly hears and chants it with devotion, becomes completely liberated. This is how powerful Bhagavatam is. And all we have to do, one seriously tries to understand, properly hears and chants it with devotion. That's all. It doesn't say we have to memorize the whole Bhagavatam. Whatever verses we love, we can memorize. But otherwise, only qualification is to hear it with faith. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is completely free of contamination by the modes of nature. It is endowed with extraordinary spiritual beauty and is therefore dear to the pure devotees of the Lord. The word Paramhansyam indicates that even completely liberated souls are eager to hear and narrate Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are trying to be liberated should faithfully serve this literature by hearing and reciting it with faith and devotion. That's all we have to do. Text 19. I meditate upon that pure and spotless supreme absolute truth who's free from suffering and death, and who in the beginning personally revealed this incomparable torchlight of knowledge to Brahma. Brahma then spoke it to the sage Narad, who narrated it to Krishna, Dvaipayan, and Vyas. Srila Vyasa revealed this Bhagavatam to the greatest of sages, Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev mercifully spoke it to Maharaj Parikshit. So this is how Bhagavatam has come down. In other words, whenever saintly devotees vibrate Srimad Bhagavatam, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna himself is speaking the absolute truth through the agency of his pure representatives. Anyone who submissively hears this literature from the Lord's bona fide devotees transcends his conditioned state and becomes qualified to meditate upon the absolute truth and serve him. So this is the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, Shankaracharya, it's Lord Shiva himself who came as Shankaracharya, and he was ordered by Krishna to give that Mayavad philosophy, Advaita philosophy. So he gave his commentary on everything, even Vedanta Sutra. He gave his commentary. It's called Sharirak Bhashya. And basically, all it brings down to is we all are God. We have forgotten we are God. When we realize we are God, we'll become God. But he himself did not give commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He could not. Bhagavad Gita also he gave commentary on, but not on Srimad Bhagavatam. Because this is full of devotion to the Lord, nothing else. And devotion cannot happen if we think I'm Lord. Just devotion can only happen if Lord is Lord and I'm his servant. That's it. Namastasmai Bhagavate Vasudevaya Sakshine Yaidam Kripya Kasmai Vyacha Chakshe Mumukshave. We offer our obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva, the all-pervading witness who mercifully explained the science to Brahma when he anxiously desired salvation. Yogindraya Namastasmai Shukaya Varamarupine Sansara Sarpadashtam Yo Vishnu Ratam Amumuchat. I offer my humble obeisances to Srila Shukdev Goswami, the best of mystic sages and a personal manifestation of the absolute truth. He saved Maharaj Parikshit, who was bitten by the snake of material existence. Sud Goswami now offers obeisances to his own spiritual master, Shukdev Goswami. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur clarifies that just as Arjuna was placed into material confusion, so that Bhagavad Gita might be spoken. So King Parikshit, the pure, liberated devotee of the Lord, was cursed to die so that Srimad Bhagavatam might be spoken. Actually, King Parikshit is Vishnu Raj, eternally under the protection of the Lord. Shukdev Goswami liberated the king from his so-called illusion to exhibit the merciful nature of a pure devotee and the enlightening effect of his association. So see, Maharaj Parikshit was never killed by Rakshak. Bhave bhave yatha bhakti padyostav jayate tatha kurushva devesha nathastvam no yataha prabho. O Lord of Lords, O Master, please grant us pure devotional service at your lotus feet, life after life. And now coming to the very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, and what it talks about, it's amazing. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashana Pranama Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Baram. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari. The congregational chanting of his holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto him, unto whom relieves all material suffering. This is the end of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada's mercy of all the devotees, we could complete it, but this is the end. The congregational chanting of holy names destroys all sinful reactions. And that is why it is said, where Bhagavad Gita ends, Bhagavatam starts. Where Bhagavad Gita ends with Sarva Dharman Pariteja. Bhagavatam teaches us how to do Sarva Dharman Pariteja. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Bhagavatam is ending with glorification of the holy names. And this is where Chaitanya Charitamrita starts actually. So thanks to all of you for putting up with me for all these years, 5 years. Of course, it didn't take us 5 years because in the beginning we were also doing Bhagavad Gita, couple of days a week, and then my India trips and some breaks here and there. It took about 4.5 years, but long time. And we stuck together and we, mercy of Prabhupada, we could complete Bhagavata.
Thank you for
Thank you,
us.
Prabhupada.
Hari bol. Thank you.
Hari bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Never expected, actually. Never expected.
Hari bol, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for this journey.
We should have a Harinam Sankirtan, Prabhuji.
Radha Prabhu is there.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, we should have that. Yeah.
We should have a Harinam Sankirtan now. हाँ प्रभुजी. तो कैसे होगा, कहाँ होगा? This we need to plan.
Prabhuji has to come to India.
Yes.
Then only we can have everything.
Yeah.
Just for Radha Prabhu and all other devotees also, Nirja Mataji is getting admitted today, I think, in Paras Hospital, Gurgaon for knee replacement surgery.
Oh,
So
okay.
please,
Okay, Prabhu.
if you can go, great. Otherwise, we can chant more for her.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Paras Hospital in Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Okay, that is should be near my place only. I will just find out.
Yeah, it's not far from your place.
Wish you all the best,
Yes.
Mataji. She is not here.
I don't
today.
know. No, I don't think they must be getting admitted today.
Correct. Okay.
So tomorrow is the surgery, 23rd.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much for informing.
Okay, thank you. Chalo, you all have a safe and very, very wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Jai
thank
Shri
you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji.